So yeah, that's me, standing on the side of a tunnel. Why? Well, that's Hayden Wild, one of the fastest triathletes on the planet.
Could have been 30, could have been a G. Should have never snitched right to the police. Started looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really want to act silly, behave. When I were on stage and a milli gets made. I need that breeze. I feel sorry for skeptics that copy these flow, but they said that it's a new flow. Imitation don't flatter me, but it's cool though. Should have ever left the guy alone in my studio.
The Google streetcar just passed me whilst I'm in Spain, so I've actually got a fair bit to catch you guys up on. I'm currently on a park bench in Spain, waiting for Hayden and Hannah. Hayden is a bit quick to catch now. I'm going to do basically a little bit of a mid-year review with you guys, tell you guys what I've been up to, how everything's been going. I know I haven't done many vlogs lately. I literally have been the busiest I've been in my entire life, and I really want to try and do like a daily life to show you guys what I'm actually doing now, because training for me, I'm still training, just not as much as what I should be. I've got a few races coming up actually that I want to tell you guys about, especially after that Red Bull race, which was very hard. It was a very good race, and yeah, let's basically get into it. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a whole mid-year wrap up, but let's go back to Andorra. I'm going to have a sit down and let's do a little bit of a mid-year review. Let's start off with the diary. A couple of people might have remembered. I'll link the video here. It's basically my goals for the year. Let's go through it. Let's see what we can tick off. And then I'll give you guys a bit of a mid-year review, how the Red Bull race went, answer some questions, and tell you guys what my next races are. So I had on my 2025 goals, 15K swim, tick, did that. We subbed 4 hours in that. I think my average pace was like 1:33. So that was a cool swim, really cool day. Sub 3 hour 15 marathon, or potentially sub 3 marathon, nowhere near. Didn't do it. Obviously, I did Red Bull Race Sun instead, which I'll touch on a little bit later. So yeah, haven't done that one yet, but still 6 months left. Sub 10 hour Ironman, probably the biggest one on my list and the one thing that I really want to tick off. But it's not looking like I'll do that this year at the moment. That's looking like potentially next year, mid next year or something like that. I don't really want to rush back into another prep, considering like where I've been with my injuries and everything lately. And I think it'd just be plain stupid. And it would just be for social media if I was going to do it. And I've been slowly veering away from that at the moment, and just going like my own direction, like how I see my future planning out. And yeah, just not this year, just isn't on the cards for me, sub 10 hour Ironman. But yeah, so my 2025 goals, I would say that is definitely going to be off the list, but that'll be on my 2026 goals for sure. Travel to a new country. So before all of this, I actually only ever traveled to New Zealand and China, and that was all, which is still pretty cool to do. We did New Zealand for DJI, and then China was a bit of everything. So yeah, that was really sick. And then so far this year, massive thank you, and yeah, to Hayden, and mainly with Hayden, I've been Germany, Belgium, Austria, Spain, Andorra now, the UAE. So yeah, it's been crazy. It's been one of the craziest things ever in my life.
Like the way that you're moving around me, I went fully lit on the day that you found me. I know you see the killers and dealers around me, but I grew up with gorillas, you know how the wild be. Grew up in the ghetto, destined for a celly. I would hustle heavy, trying to be a legendary, but I got a Mon Sherry, Julio, Don Perry, Pricey, Boss Lady. I'll give you old school loving like we in the 80s. I know your friends hate me, but they just wanna love me. I'll put you over.
And it's like one of those things that you dream about, right? You don't think it would ever happen to you. But I think it just shows that if you continually put work out there and show people what you're good at and what you can do and who you are as a person, then you're definitely on the right track to hopefully doing what you want to do in life. And yeah, I would say I'm still not where I want to do or what I want to be, but I'm doing some bloody cool stuff with amazing people. And like, I could see myself doing this for a very long time if I ever had the opportunity to. YouTube to 20K, nowhere near. I don't know if I'm ever going to actually hit that this year. But who knows? You never know. I don't think I would hit that this year. And Instagram 15K, which I'm confident I might be able to get close. So yeah, that's just some little statistic stuff. Not that those numbers matter, but they were just little goals at the start of the year. Make a sustainable income, doing what I love doing. I would say I'm definitely more close to that this year than I was last year. Last year I was borderline, like half my investments were like dropping, so to try and do what I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm definitely getting on track with that one as well. Filming Dolphins, haven't done that. TT race, haven't done that either. There's nothing that I could find in Melbourne. Work with a brand or create a brand. Now, definitely won't be creating a brand this year. That's actually what I was doing a little bit, but definitely not this year. I just don't have the time. And I've definitely worked with quite a few brands this year compared to the last couple of years. Like all the Santos stuff that we did, that did extremely well. Just did a little bit of a thing with Insta360 and obviously DJI and stuff like that. So that's been pretty cool as well. Can't knock back those ones as well. So that's been hectic. Even like Zoot for Ali stuff. So yeah, it's just been a bit crazy. Yeah, and I'm super thankful for everyone that's put the trust in me for those brands. And hopefully I get to work on quite bigger brands in the next year or two. Keep putting myself on the front foot for that stuff. And yeah, that'll be ripper as well. Help others achieve the goals, and how. Haven't really done that yet. I don't really know how still. So yeah, that's another thing where I'm not too sure about. YouTube series 24 hours with X. So with a pro athlete or someone you look up to. And I wouldn't say I'm doing that, but I would say doing the recovery series with Hayden, I'm pretty much close to doing that every single day of my life at the moment, which I would tick that one off the list personally. But yeah, that's been crazy. I would still love to do it with like, you know, Rob and stuff like that. But yeah, that's been phenomenal. It's been crazy. I don't even know what to say. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos on Hayden's channel as well. Film with or for Red Bull, dream goal, not year goal. And I mean, I did that this year. I filmed for Red Bull. I did a short thing with them, not the commercial campaigny stuff that I would want to do eventually, but I did film with Red Bull, and I did do Red Bull Race the Sun. So yeah, I've done a couple of cool things that I definitely can't knock back for sure. And lifting heavy again. I don't even think I've touched a weight in the last like 3 months, just with how much travel and training I've been trying to do. Let's touch into Red Bull Race the Sun really quickly. So Red Bull Race the Sun, I'll put my stats on the screen. I did not do the proper race prep for this, but yeah, it was chaos. This is why I put out the Gold Coast Marathon, and also that I'm in another country. I was not going to be in Australia for the Gold Coast Marathon. But the Gold Coast Marathon, I think my stats were a little bit over 59 Ks, 1,800 meters of elevation, as well as I think my average pace was 4:16 with like a 3:58 gap. So it was quick. Most of my intervals were like 300 to 400 meters. Pretty sure I broke my 400 meter record. I was really, really sluggish. I mean, I came from Austria, like I trained from Austria to Germany, and then Germany to Doha, and then Doha to Australia. And then I had 5 hours between Australia to Gold Coast flight, between Melbourne and the Gold Coast flight. And then I flew to Gold Coast. And then the next day was the Race of Sun. So I was running Race of Sun off like, I think 4 hours sleep of total of 3 days or something, 2 days, which was crazy as well. Yeah, that was an awesome event, and I was so excited to see like Lockie and Blake and all those guys again. And yeah, absolutely loved doing stuff with Lockie. Lockie's got, I reckon he deserves 100K on YouTube. Like, his stuff's crazy, and the way he approaches everything is so methodical and so awesome that yeah, if you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. You've definitely seen his videos before, but yeah, he was awesome to work with as well. So I did put on my Instagram for my mid-year review for some questions that you want to ask or anything like that. And I've also been getting some Instagram requests about like the same questions. So I'm just going to cover the question as its entirety. And the question was pretty much about sport filmmaking. And I'll cover the training questions later. But the sport filmmaking side of it, I think I can cover most of the sport filmmaking stuff in just a general talk to you guys. So my journey and how I got to where I am and what I'm doing. So when I was 16, I basically started with the camera, and then when I got to 18, obviously out of high school, did my osteo degree for 5 years, then worked full-time as an osteo, a little bit of video again, but my entire time when I was doing osteo, I was doing video production at a university, which is pretty cool. And it meant I always had a camera in my hands, and I was always learning with production teams. And then when I decided look, osteo is not really for me. I really love it. And the sports side of it, I really loved. I had like national clients. I had domestic or lower clients. Like I had a lot of really good people when I was doing osteo. And yeah, it was awesome. I loved it. But there was just something with me that I just couldn't like, there was just something with me that it just wasn't like fulfilling what I really wanted to do, which was just like creating awesome stuff. And I really loved the content side of it still, which one day, hopefully I can get back into osteo and helping people that way. But at the moment, I'm really loving what I'm doing with filmmaking. But yeah, basically once I got out of osteo, I was basically taking any single filmmaking photo job that I could, which is what I see a lot of people doing now. And look, there's nothing wrong with it, but I would definitely say niching down to sport filmmaking made me a lot better filmer and made me love video way more. I am honestly not the best photographer, and I can take some solid photos, I would say nowadays, just knowing my way around cameras and having some ideations or thoughts on creative aspects, but I will never be as good as a photographer. And I think I'm much more down the line of becoming a better filmmaker than I am a photographer. So the moment I decided to take like content creation and take out photography from what I was doing, I started getting way more clients and stopped trying to be something that I really didn't want to be. I only really wanted to be a filmmaker from the start, and that's just what I love doing. And yeah, I hope you guys also enjoy it as well. And I still do some other jobs here and there that aren't sports related, but majority of my work is sports related now, which is quite awesome. Yeah, I suppose how I got there was mainly just working through a bunch of athletes and then obviously posting to YouTube, posting your work. And I feel like when I wasn't posting, I'd be like, oh, I can do that. Like when I see stuff on socials. But the thing is, that person was posting all the time. So obviously they're going to get work, right? And if you're just sitting back and watching and being like, oh, like, why isn't my one video going viral? Which is something I also do. I don't post enough. I've got like 80 posts on my Instagram. You know, I see some of these filmmakers and they have like 500 to like 600 posts. And I'm like, why are they getting more? Like, what's happening? But honestly, it's just like compounding consistency, right? Like they're just posting more. So even if you're as good as them, they're reaching a way wider audience. Something that made me really realize that was working with Tom. And hopefully when I get back to Melbourne, I can still continue working with Tom. But Tom made me realize that like, he just posts so much and his quality of content is awesome, right? And the way he conducts himself on camera and what he has to teach you is awesome. But I think that just shows a massive difference between someone like me and someone like Tom. They're just in a different ballpark. But yeah, I really feel like niching down into sports filmmaking really helped me out because it let me focus on like my Miller note. And what a Miller note is, it's like your structuring of like an entire plan. I'll give you guys Santo for example, and then using stuff like FrameSet, watching stuff on Vimeo, taking like creations or ideations on Vimeo, apart from just like YouTube or apart from just like Instagram reels, like watching Vimeo stuff and watching actual artists do their thing is quite awesome. And yeah, it's something where I've really taken inspiration from this year, and I feel like it's really helped my work as well. So what I would say if you wanted to get into the sports filmmaking space is definitely show your work more. You know, you see some people's work, I see some people's work, and it's crazy and it's phenomenal, right? But the thing is, half the time is you're not in the same ballpark. When I started filming some sports stuff, I was just filming like local athletes and with my local teams and stuff like that. But the thing is, you can't compare your work to someone that's, you know, for example, like filming the Tour de France. Like obviously the event's cooler, the work gonna be cooler, right? So you can't compare yourself to that. And I think that's one of the main takeaways that I've gotten as well. Because I'm like, oh dude, like, oh, I wish I was doing that. But you're like, you really can't compare. It's just one of those things that I've learned. And I think you learn over time that sometimes you just can't compare with some of those people. And hopefully one day you'll get your shot. And yeah, without you guys, honestly, I wouldn't be here as well. So massive thank you. Thank you for supporting me. And yeah, it's honestly just been a little bit crazy. Doing what I've been doing the past couple months probably isn't sustainable, but it's quite cool. And yeah, I've been loving every minute of it. I did have a few questions, Ari, like training and if you're coming back to Europe and stuff. Obviously, I'm in Andorra now. Andorra is an absolute beautiful country. It absolutely tore me to shreds when I started. I came here and I went for a run, broke all my heart rates here. I've never done altitude or anything like that, so found that out very quickly. Went for a bit of a cruisy ride today. That was struggling. It was quite cool, but probably the most awesome riding I've ever done in my entire life. And definitely Fushal was up there as well with some of the most incredible riding ever. And I'll be sure to try and get a riding video out for you guys as well. I did get a lot of questions, and a lot of them were honestly about sports filmmaking, but this is quite a funny question that I wanted to answer. It's early training, early morning or late afternoon. Something in Europe that I find crazy is everyone, like majority of people train after like 10 all the way to like 8 p.m. Like people train midday to like afternoon, whereas I'm like 6 a.m. Like I'm an early morning operator because I've got to get stuff done. I have to get edits done. And when I went to go do the ride today, it was just me. It was just me. The entire climb, and that was really rough. But yeah, the entire climb, it was just me. And then the descent, one guy caught me and just ripped past me, but I was going so slow down this descent. It's crazy. Like I've never done, in Melbourne, there's no descending ever. Like Beach Road, no descents. So to go to actual descents and seeing what like pro cyclists do and watching Hayden like rip it at like 40 kilometers an hour, like around a corner, I'm like, you just watch it and then you go to do it. And like, I'm doing it at like 10 Ks an hour. It's like phenomenal what these guys can do. Last one, races. So I do have a 10K race when the Melbourne Marathon is. I'm going to be targeting anywhere between like 38 to 40 minutes. Anywhere between that ballpark is the goal. Don't know if I'll achieve it, but it's the goal. All right. So we'll see how we go. And then the next race will be T100 Gold Coast. And then after that, it'll be pending on basically everything. So I really want to try and do an Ironman after that. But there's nothing in Australia that I really want to do. Apart from Bustleton again, I think, but that's at the end of the year. And I'd want to target something just after March. I want to use like T100 as like a really hard race and a really good lead-in race to see where I'm at. Haven't figured out, don't know what I'm going to do. Might look at a European race potentially, would be on the cards. I'd love to do that. I'd love to do Roth, but that is too hard to get into. I'll pick one race next year, not sure. If you have any recommendation on races, let me know. But yeah, it's basically my racing plan. If there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. Any recommendations, let me know. I'd be very happy to do a video on it. I'm not training a whole lot at the moment. I'll probably try and only train like 10 hours this week. And whilst I'm here, so we'll see how we go. Just to try and get some base back again after Red Bull, because I'm still pretty sore from it. I am aiming to do a lens review. I'll aim to do a ride. So there will still be a few videos getting along here. I'll definitely get some riding content for you guys, so you guys can see how slow I go down the descents. But yeah, I will have to learn descending, maybe from the man himself, but we'll see how we go. So, but yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.